Good morning. I think this is day 3 on filming. I don't know, I can't remember. It's Monday. Last week you saw us, we went through, had a lot of the guys working on the 30th anniversary Roadster. We got to a point where we were waiting for all the cool stuff. Luckily over the weekend, all that stuff came in. So let's talk about the first one. We need an engine for this thing. Of course we're gonna go to our partners at Blueprint. We decided to go with the biggest, the baddest, the 427 small block. This is their Mac Daddy 427. It is the fuel injected, uses the Sniper 2, 541 horsepower, 520 foot-pounds of torque. It's a monster. Of course, we want the biggest and baddest from our partners at Blueprint, so of course this is what we went with. Want to open it up, guys, so we can show these guys what we got? As always, everything comes ready to drop in from Blueprint. Another badass motor, so I can't wait to see this thing in here. Besides this, today, what are we gonna do? We have, finally, the Wilwood brakes came in, so we'll be doing those in a little bit, so you'll see some footage of that. And we have, our wheels came in. So Travis is gonna be mounting the 17-inch soft lip bronze wheels. You wanna come check that out right now? Let's do it, Travie.
All right, well, finally got in here now, our soft lip type 17-inch 30th anniversary wheels. They have the bronze type center with your machine type finish on it, same Halibran look that everybody loves on it. So we went ahead and wanted to match the framing of the 30th anniversary, both coupe and also the Roadster here. 17s for the Roadster, 18s for the coupe. So we're gonna get some rubber on here so we can get this thing on the ground nice and sitting by itself. So go ahead. Get some rubber on here.
Looks like you've done this before.
Once or twice.
Yeah.
What we're looking at right there. Get these aired up.
Yeah, obviously we'll balance this later.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, that's gonna look awesome. I can't wait to see this thing all done. Hopefully by the end of the day, we'll have this thing on the wheels with the Wilwoods on it. We work on it when we can, so stay tuned. Thanks, guys.
All right. Hi, it's Nick from Factory 5 Racing. I just want to show you guys our special 30th anniversary brake calipers here. These are our front 6 pistons. You can actually see the individual pistons on the inside there. Pretty beefy caliper. We offer these on all our Mark 5, Mark 4, Type 65s, but for the 60 anniversary cars, our 30 Roadsters and 30 Coupes, you get specifically this caliper that says Factory 5 Racing 30th Anniversary by Wilwood. Special for just these cars. So I just want to kind of dive into it a little bit, show you what I've been working on. So stemming off of what I mentioned earlier about our 30th anniversary brakes, I'm working on the rear here. I kind of have everything I needed laid out because I've already set the shims for the caliper and the parking brake, which we'll get into. The rotor's already assembled, all the set screws are already in. We have our shims here. These just go through the rear knuckles on the independent rear suspension, also specific to the 30th anniversary, but available on other models as well. Just kind of thread that in. Now the reason it's important to have these rear shims is because it sets the spacing of the caliper over the rotor. Because these are 4 pistons, you want the rotor to be perfectly center, otherwise it'll drag on one of these pads and it'll cause an uncomfortable vibration while you're driving. You just kind of put this on. I won't torque anything down just for the sake of a quick walkthrough, but I will tighten everything to where it's supposed to be. See here, now that I've done it a few times, it gets a little easier. All right. That looks good. See our Wilwood 2-piece rotors. I'm I'm only using these lugs to hold the rotor in place while I set the caliper on here because it actually goes on from the side. All right. All right, so here is our 30th anniversary rear caliper. This guy, as long as your pads are spaced nicely, slides right on over the rotor. There we go. You have these set screws here. All right, there's that guy. And then as for these, because you have to set the spacing of the caliper on the rotor, you also have to set the spacing of the parking brake. So here I have 4 of our spacers that we use for the parking brake. Make sure your pads are spread nicely so you can get it on. There we are. And we can just pop our spacers in here. And there we are, simple as that. Like I said, nothing's torqued down just for the sake of experimenting with it and showing you guys what I went through originally, but now all the spacers are set. Caliper sits nice and center on the rotor here. Won't create any of that wobble I mentioned, and that's all there is to it.